BRICS bloc has agreed to expand at the conclusion of its annual summit in Johannesburg. Expansion of the bloc was the main item on the agenda, and as a result, Saudi Arabia, Iran, the UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia and Argentina were invited to join the bloc as full members. The admission of the nations will more than double the size of BRICS, which currently includes Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. The other key agenda item was de-dollarization, which has proven to be more difficult to achieve. This is because there are major differences between BRICS members over this. Whilst China and Russia keep criticizing the dollar, countries like Brazil and India want to maintain ties with the US. But for the moment, the BRICS bloc have no alternative to the dollar, as the ruble has no credibility and the yuan has restrictions on its use. It would seem China and Russia want the credit for challenging the dollar without actually doing much practically about it. On August 23rd, the Indian Space Research Organization's Chandrayaan-3 mission and its Vikram lunar lander successfully performed a soft landing near the lunar south pole on the moon. In doing so, India became only the fourth country to successfully perform a soft landing on the lunar and the first to do so near the lunar south pole. The rise of non-US and Russian space powers and the commercialization of the space industry has dramatically rekindled lunar exploration and deep space exploration as the moon's resources become more crucial for space programs. For India, successful missions to the moon, in addition to its growing near-Earth space capabilities, provide national security benefits when it comes to China and potentially lucrative business opportunities. Over the last 2 decades, India's space program has transformed from one highly dependent on external support to one that is starting to become more indigenous in its development. The success of the Chandrayaan-3 mission demonstrates the overall advancement of India's space capabilities as well as its space agency, ISRO. Russian President Vladimir Putin called Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin a man of complicated destiny, a day after a plane believed to be carrying the mercenary leader crashed in Russia, killing everyone on board. I've known Prigozhin for a long time, since the 1990s. He made some serious mistakes in life, but he also achieved the necessary results for himself, but also for the greater good when I asked him. He was a talented man, a talented businessman, Putin said. The death of Prigozhin confirms the Kremlin is in control and sends a message to dissenters after Prigozhin's attempted coup. There are no end of people who had an axe to grind against Prigozhin, from the military, who he's been attacking, to Russian industry, who are against the war. Prigozhin's death makes the Wagner Group's future uncertain, but Putin will likely strive to still use Wagner fighters in Africa and Ukraine. This also means there is a vacancy at Putin's inner circle now that needs to be filled. The race for the White House began this week with a live debate in Wisconsin. 8 Republican hopefuls took to the stage to brawl over issues from Ukraine to abortion. The debate exposed divisions within the party on support for Ukraine and abortion rights. Most of the candidates pledged to back Ukraine in its war with Russia. The candidates were asked by debate moderators if they would support Donald Trump should he become the Republican nominee. 2 of the 8 on stage did not raise their hands. Mr. Christie was booed and cheered as he said, "The conduct of Mr. Trump is beneath the office of the President of the United States." Former President Donald Trump was given an interview to Tucker Carlson at the same time as the debate, where he explained he skipped the first Republican presidential debate so he wouldn't get harassed by rivals he said didn't deserve to run. More people tuned in to Trump's interview on Twitter than the Republican debate. It remains to be seen if any of the candidates can challenge Donald Trump, who is way ahead in the polls, to face off against President Biden.